With us now is the Delaware Governor, John Carney. Governor Carney, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. I'm sure you saw this news earlier today. Dr. Anthony Fauci today said he wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing 100,000 new cases of coronavirus a day. We're at approximately 40,000 right now. In Delaware, you're requiring masks in public to try to stop the spread of the virus. Would it be easier for you to enforce this policy if the White House set the right example?
Oh, it certainly would be a lot easier if the White House set the right example with respect to wearing masks, with respect to taking this pandemic seriously, with respect to the provision of necessary equipment 2 months ago. The situation here in Delaware is very different than in Arizona, California, Florida, Texas, many of those other states. We had kind of a classic peak back in the end of April, the beginning of May. 2 intervals at least of 14 days of improving conditions as the White House task force and the CDC recommended before we went to opening at the beginning of June. We are seeing now a little bit of an uptick at the beach areas among beach bar and restaurant workers. The average age of those who've tested positive in our state now shifted significantly to that younger age demographic, say 18 to 25. And so we need to improve our messaging with that group to get folks to be more responsible personally in wearing masks and keeping social distance. We got to working our messaging and our enforcement there. Delawareans have made tremendous sacrifice closing down businesses, stay-at-home orders, a tremendous economic sacrifice, and we don't want to lose that ground now with this little outbreak in the beach communities in Lower Delaware.
And Governor, you just announced that you're delaying moving into phase 3 of your reopening plan and that bars in your state's popular beach towns, the beaches are beautiful there, will close ahead of the 4th of July weekend. What led to this decision?
Yes, so the uptick that we are seeing in day-to-day positive cases, we don't have a declining 14-day trend there. Even though we're testing a lot more people, the percent positive, which is a data trigger that we're looking at as well, is on the upswing. And so we do have a bit of an uptick, an outbreak there in the lower part of our state. Again, in this very specific demographic, we're doing a much better job with the testing and isolation of people in nursing homes. Those are the most vulnerable populations. That's also a requirement of moving into reopening. So we're going to pause now in phase 2. We're going to close the bars in the beach areas at this very busy time during the year and assess the testing data that we're doing. We're doing a lot more testing of people that have symptoms, of people that don't have symptoms. We're testing in these restaurants and bars. Some of the bars and restaurants have closed to enable us to test their employees. We'll get through this. Delawareans have paid a tremendous price so far, and it would be a shame to lose all that ground that we've gained in flattening the curve.
And Governor, you're seeing these cases spike in other states around the country. Are you concerned about some of these travelers, tourists coming into your state from other parts of the country where cases are spiking? And what can you do about it?
Yeah, I absolutely am concerned about that. We don't get quite as many visitors at our beaches from Texas and Southern California and Florida and places like that. I've looked at their graphs online. They look very different than ours. We did flatten the curve, and we're having this uptick. I am more worried about travelers from Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey. They have improving conditions there, and in fact, in New Jersey, New York, Connecticut, they've imposed travel quarantines on people coming from those states with higher numbers. It's something we'll take a look at. We're not going to do it yet, but we're going to look at the numbers, be driven by the science, and make responsible decisions going forward.
All right, Governor John Carney, all the best to you. Hope everybody stays safe in your state. Thank you very much. Up next.